And I am officially done with this right here. Just finished it. I bought this months ago, and they just added a new library section. But yeah, I might go right here if it's enclosed enough. Then I'll see what happens from there. But okay, I might just sit over here and record from here. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it so I don't have to walk around this time. So I mean, one thing I wanted to talk about was that perhaps YouTube isn't going to work out anytime soon, because like when you look at the views, I get like 5, 10, or like 25 views max. Like, actually, I already talked about that. So the guy said he can't go upstairs, and then December 4th. What? Let me try and see what video I made. I'm so sorry about that. I should have deleted that because it's been up since December 5th, and it's the 21st today. So me and this one ghetto girl came in at the manager switched up on me, and many people over there will start to respect me. Now, just 1 second. Situation, like I'm telling you, don't do that fucking bullshit with me ever again. Are we clear? What is this? And I was not as mean, actually. I just said, hey, it looks like you're not like sticking to your word. But yeah, let me take all this out. That, like, I might tell them like that, but yeah, that's the plan. And it's 3:52 p.m. right now. I can't even see. There's usually. There was a white girl next to him, and they were like squatted down doing that thing where they run forward with their knees. You know what I'm talking about. My hair's coming back. Okay. 10 p.m. making me only about while we were both at the same shift, and then the manager. Okay, I'm gonna try and find. The was like, I have no idea. When the ghetto girl was like. I got this new shirt. Whoa, look. Actually, no, don't look. What to do was keep her for the entire shift until 12:30 a.m. and then send me home at 10 p.m., making me only work 3 hours. Women, those two women were just like arguing. That was way before, but what happened last? Okay, so what I want to start talking about today is I don't. What I hope I started talking about last week was like when I started dating in 2020, and I struggled like for years and until now, late 2025. Now that I'm homeless, but I have a job, I literally have 5 people that I'm actively working on setting up dates with. That's something I already spoke about. I removed a lot of those after 7 days. That's a new rule I started doing. Also, I find that I'm less interested in dating, just in general. And then like what is it, 2 other people who are too far away but very much interested in talking to me. I've never gotten this much attention in my life as far as dating apps. I believe I typed that way before last week. So what I do want to talk about is I had a meeting scheduled on one of these Wednesdays. I don't know which one. And I texted my case manager at 10:58 because it was at 11 a.m. and I did not see him. And he was gone on a family emergency, but he didn't text me. But if I don't show up to a meeting and I don't text him, I would have gotten in trouble. It's just like something I wanted to mention. Also, I need to use a lot of shaving cream because I noticed I was itching a ton over when I got this shave over the past week. So yeah, I'm gonna go. Some of the crumbs fell on the iPad, and this is already growing back super fast. Because I remember I was really going to town with the manual shave. I was trying to do a low cut with the electric one, but it was turning off, and I plugged it up for a few minutes because I don't have a lot of time. I was at the homeless shelter bathroom, public, where people walk up and down. And it was just uncomfortable standing there the whole time, so no one could steal my stuff. And I took a big chunk off right here, and then I just decided to shave it all off. It'll grow back really fast. And a lot of people didn't even notice that I shaved when I went to the place I volunteer at. But there was one manager, my assistant manager at my job, noticed it when I walked in. He was like, yeah, all right. And I was like, he was saying I just had a mustache. And I was like, for no reason at all, I just said, my mustache is better than yours. And then later on, toward the end of the shift, he was like, fuck you for saying that. But yeah, I'm just going off the top. Let me see this. And we, and the meeting was rescheduled for Friday the 19th. But then I met up with that case manager when they actually came back the next week. We were scheduled to meet on the Wednesday before, the week where the 19th is. What week is the 19th? We were supposed to meet on the 10th, and then they were gone. They no showed. And then another case manager scheduled me for the 19th, but when I actually spoke to my original case manager and they came back, they said they usually don't even schedule stuff on Friday. So they manually rescheduled it with me on the 30th. And my extension went up till the 29th, but they only gave me one extra day. But he said he's going to keep giving me extensions as long as I keep coming. And I saw also within the past week, I saw one dude with a Percocet pill, like he was flashing it inside the bathroom, a little tiny yellow pill. He was like, Perky. He kept saying that. Then he was talking about how he was going to have sex with a woman who was like 30. And then he was talking about how he was going to change his address because he also had on an ankle monitor. Shocker. But, and then the guy he was talking to, one of the security walked in and said, you took my charger. You're on camera, bro. I saw it on camera. And then he said, the homeless guy that was sitting next to me, that stole the charger, he was like, I'm going to give you your charger back. And it's like, yeah, that's... And the thing about, and there was one security, a whole nother day where another, not security, but a janitor was talking about, hey, he was saying, oh, my sister works at the women's shelter and it's way better over there. Like, they get 6 months off the bat. Whereas me and like all the men, we had like a month at a time or like 10 days starting out and then get an extension from there, another extension. Like you have to keep checking in. And I already know that I'm guessing the women can probably bring food inside. But yeah, it makes, like, the thing about the homeless shelter being this bad for men is it makes you want to get out of this situation. It just makes you want to stop being homeless. Where if you're a homeless woman, I had a video from a church, and most of the people in there were men. They were like doing lunch in the basement of the church. And like, it's probably like, man, like there's probably privacy in the bathrooms, and that white woman is so thick. She just rubbed her ass. What the fuck? She's over there. She's over there, but I'm not looking over there. I'm just looking right here. I think that's her husband and kid or something. She might be older than she looks, because the kid looks like 17, 18 maybe, or somewhere around there. But what the fuck? Thick white women, because I know thick white women are easier for me to pull as a black guy, but a lot of times, like, there was this one white woman with a mixed kid who was right behind me. She was like, hush. She kept saying like, hush, and like, get back, get down there. Like, one thing that's weird is, like, if it's a single mom with like a mixed kid, it's like, I don't know why, but sometimes the discipline is not there. Like, their behavior is not being regulated at home, and they try to only do the regulating out in public, which is why the kid is like not as obedient as they should be. There's two of them. You see, they both got on a white shirt and black pants. I can see where the daughter got it from, if that's the daughter, if the daughter is the one with the ponytail. And they looking at some type of presentation, but goddamn. And I'll never get with, like, I mean, they're easier to pull than other types of white women. But one thing I won't do is I won't get with a woman, or since we're talking about this subject, a white woman who is fat but has no ass, or any woman for that matter, because they're gonna be built like what's the hippo's name from Penguins of Madagascar. And this is a new shirt, by the way. I got it yesterday. It looked like a medium because I said, do you have XL? but then it ended up being so big that it comes all the way down and covers my entire pelvis and my butt. Maybe that's good because my butt is pretty big. Plus, but this shirt is thin anyway, so I can always tuck it in, which I'm totally fine with. Man, she's got on the underwear, and the pants are so tight you can see where the underwear stops, that bulge, and you can see. God, fuck. But fuck. Yeah. The funny thing is, I've been like less interested in dating. I don't know. Oh, I need to point this out. Okay, let me not get into that. Okay, I'll get into that later. But and this black guy was looking directly at both of them. That was a risk that I did, flipping it around. But yeah, there's probably like privacy in the women's shelter and stuff. Imagine if women were using the bathroom. Grown women were using the bathroom with no privacy. You know how many domestic abuse, how many mental health like women's advocacy groups would have an uproar. Like somebody's head would be on the chopping block. But it's 3:51. I got 9 minutes to hopefully get up out of here. But yeah, my job told me to stop hanging out at the restaurant hours before I start work. So I hung out at Subway, but then another random guy came in and sat down because he saw me with a lot of bags, because I'm cool with the Indian guy who works there. And I already told him I was considering going to the YMCA. So I went there that day on a day pass. I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago. And then there was one older guy, probably from Iran or something, from my assumption. And I've gotten certain stuff like that right before. And I asked one woman if she was Lebanese. She said I'm half Lebanese, half Syrian, or something like that. So, but he was asking one woman who had tattoos, "Where'd you get those tattoos?" She said it's from my brother, and then another was from the uncle. And then he was like, "How did the brother die? From an overdose?" And then yeah, what is he ducking around looking for? The white dad is like doing something. I don't know what he is doing. He was just crouching down a little bit, and he's still walking like that with his hands out. But they're part of some type of Christmas thing. Love, Joy, Family, Christmas 2025. That's what they're all wearing. But yeah, that one thick white mom was giving a hug to that older black gentleman, and all of them, and like I don't know, but and also the black auntie. But let me move on. Yeah, I need to put it in my notes that I'm leaving on the 24th, because I want to leave on the 24th, and then I won't be there at night. Then I'll be gone for all of Christmas. Then I'm not going to come back until the 26th, because the 26th is my next work day. And you see what white women do. She's purposely giving me a show where her ass is like facing towards me. She's just been standing. You see how they pose like that, especially the ones who know they got ass. And we know I like all types of white women. It's just that I particularly gravitate toward the bigger white women because I know that's an easier pull if it were to happen. But yeah, there's this one big booty Latina at the place I volunteer at. She's standing in the sun right now, and she's got her arms above her head trying to accentuate her curve. You see. And if I was not sitting here, I guarantee, bro, I bet you she would not be going like that. I stand by it. She keeps posing, bro. She's walking back and forth, bro, right now, actively. But it's 3:54. I'm going to try and get out of here before it gets too late. And you got the super thick white woman standing over there trying to show me the side view on purpose. But yeah, there was this one super thick Latina. I was stationed to work with her once, and it was pretty good. And we were breaking eggs, and she was laughing because like we threw ours in at the same time, I think. But then she told me, like, I was like, "Are you from Venezuela?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I said, I already knew, because there are differences between Venezuelans and Mexicans. And then the grandma was like, "Yup, he already knew. Lo supo. But yeah, there was a previous day, I think it was this Friday, the big booty Latina walked up to me right behind me and just reached out and touched my lower back. She initiated physical contact, did not say a word, and then she immediately walked back out of the break room. She was just looking at the wall to see what I was looking at. But Yeah, it's just because like I know how much attention women like her get. It's one of those Venezuelans that look like she got a BBL. Like the booty is like stupid big. It's so stupid big, and you can see she's continuing to stand with the other white woman is continuing to stand with her ass facing directly towards me. And you see both of them did, you see how both of them did that without being prompted. Like these white women always do this and act like it's an accident, and they're trying to give a show to the black guys, especially the white women who know they have an ass. But another thing I want to talk about, there was one guy way earlier last week, it might have been last Monday, Tuesday. He was like, I was in the bathroom. It was one of those days where I was there. This is why I always avoid that place. You see how that white woman is crossing her legs right now. You can't. They always they do this, bro, and they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing, especially when they know they got some thickness down there. I don't care if a woman is fat. Just if you're fat, you definitely gotta have an ass. But if you're a skinny white woman and you're still attractive, you can get away with no ass. In my book, even a woman who has like a moderately big belly, long as the ass sticks out. But it's just that I'm a lot pickier with black women. So if you have a noticeable belly, especially if it sticks out more than the ass, definitely a no-go. Whereas I'll make exceptions. Man, she keeps trying to, bro. And these women, that big booty Venezuelan lady, she's like probably in her 40s or something. I've seen her talking on the phone with what I assume is her man or something. It's like some dude with like a beard. You know how when you walk past, like when we're eating and I'm walking to get my food and you just take a glance? But she saw that I wasn't trying to sit across from her, because I've seen dudes sitting across from her trying to sit next to her and stuff. And I'm not really trying to be super aggressive on those types of women, especially if I think that it's not really worth it, especially if they have like stupid ass, but or if they're getting a lot of attention from men already. And like they pay attention to that. Like he's not into me, or is he not attracted to me or something? And that's, bro, I was going crazy. And there was also this light-skinned girl who was like really cute at my job, probably the only baddie. And she was like, that was a previous event this week. And I was drinking and I said to her, I was like, who is that random woman that was looking at me? And she was like, damn, it's been that long. And then there was one point where I was getting a drink and she walked 1 inch behind me and reached behind me coming up on my left side to grab a drink. And then she was like, my bad. But the fact that she like, you know how mixed girls always randomly have ass, even if they don't work out, even if they don't work on, I don't know what it is. And mixed guys always randomly have muscle, like no matter what, they put on muscle just by staring. And these two white, now they're both doing their thing right there. Why do they have to be at that vantage point? They could have been facing towards me. And that white woman who's like super dumb thick, she literally turned around and looked directly at me. They keep standing with their ass in the sun with their ass facing me. They need to quit. That's why I like being a black dot. But anyway, there was one guy when I was in the bathroom. He was like, "What's up? You all right?" And then I just said yes. I didn't really say much after that. I could have asked him, "You all right?" But I didn't. But what I find funny is that guy was getting escorted out only a few days later by one of the staff. He was a shorter guy, and there was a woman with a mustache. She was as short as him, and he was like, "What did I do? I don't know what's going on." And everybody was staring at him outside in the morning. And I was just leaving to go do laundry, I think, or actually to go volunteer. Like, the thing is, with people who keep trying to start fights with me, they end up getting kicked out off of their own decisions, off their own volition, off of the staff's own volition. That they end up doing something or just behaving a certain way, because I'm not looking for a conflict with them. So if they're starting stuff with me, and like I'm probably the most peaceful person ever, they're going to end up starting conflict with other people. But yeah. I was at a church service today. I haven't been able to go in many years, but there's this one female pastor who's like a very elderly white woman, but she has like a giant booty, like a big booty. This white grandma who's the head female pastor. And the head male pastor is British. But they were saying like 136 homeless people passed away this year, and one of them was unknown. and the mayor actually was there, and he talked about a new program and how they housed 50 people, and that number is growing every day. And he was like, all the other stuff, like no one should die on the streets. No one should live or die on the streets here in this city. And but on the list, it was like it had a star next to their name. The people that died while in housing, they have a star next to their name, but not a single person had a star next to their name, because the asterisk would denote that the neighbor was housed at time of passing. But of course, the mayor, being a politician, he used his opportunity to promote himself, which I already knew he was going to do, by mentioning something called like the housing hub, something like that. And I'm sure he's got no time to talk to civilians, to the regulars. His highness, his royal majesty, the honorable whatever. I'm sure he would love that kind of title. Like, I'm sorry, that's just my viewpoint of like, I guess, politicians or something, but I don't know too much though. But they love to overpromise and underdeliver, essentially. Like 100 plus 136 people like dying in 1 year. That's a couple people every week. Like, and we're not including all the homeless people that are not affiliated with the church. But yeah, the thing about one thing I noticed randomly, people who, while I'm here, I just want to mention everyone who's ever worked at a homeless shelter, they seem to either they live at a different homeless facility that's just better, or basically these three things: they have experience with homelessness, drugs/substance abuse, and or prison or some type of incarceration, or any of those three things could lead to a lack of job opportunities, or them dealing with those things. They offer a program that says if you work for a homeless shelter, that's going to give you a lot more points or something, because those places have no standards as far as who they hire, because there's tons of people coming. You got to think about it. There's tons of people coming in and out of prison, and they have denied job opportunities. And the people who come out of prison themselves often end up being homeless because they can't work. And a lot of times they don't have people who are able or even willing. They might be able but not willing to take care of or house certain individuals. So it's not like even the one light-skinned, thick woman who works there at our facility. I don't really deal with that because I know she's surrounded by attention. She probably loves the attention she's getting from all the homeless men who are missing teeth, talking about, you gonna have my last name one day. He's like 85 and she's like 40 or like 37 or 38 or something like that. But it's not like she had the opportunity to either work at a modeling agency or work at a fashion agency in Atlanta or work at a homeless shelter. Even though I don't like Atlanta, like, I want to get out of this place. Like, I want to stop being homeless. Like, because I'm on the waiting list for a place to actually stay. I like how I just got my leg kicked out, but now I got a place to actually stay. But what's it called? They're calling somebody over. Now that I've got I'm in the process of waiting for a place to stay. I just want to get out of here. Like, my dream life, with a little bit of money, I'll move to like Texas or Florida. I already said this because like it has a lot of blacks, but it has enough for me to be comfortable. That's not necessarily my first option. Although I feel like I've become more open to them as I've gotten on dating apps, and especially the ones that are really attracted to me. But I've had to cut off pretty much all of them because they don't like respond in that 7-day period. You just got to cut it off. I got stood up on a date as well. I just chilled out at the vegan restaurant and ate some of the food that I got from volunteering. Then this person, very feminine, but they said they're non-binary. And they made it a point that they are not trans. And when I unliked them, I hit... Who the fuck is that? Dog, shut the fuck up. I don't know. Is that him? Is that him? It might have been that person, but yeah, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. But yeah. You just gotta cut them off. Like, don't spend too much time talking to someone who's not interested. But yeah, after I hit the unlike button, they ended up messaging me again. That guy was looking at me, and this non-binary person, it was like, hey, how you doing? And then I ended up blocking them this time because they found my profile after I hit the unlike button, which unmatches us, but you could still run into them again. And there's a lot that say female only when I go on the queer app, and I started another app. For some reason, provocative, very provocative pictures are perfectly fine. But if you put something even moderately, like the word booty, in your bio on highly HILY, they're gonna be like, easy there, Tiger. Your bio's a little too frisky. But yeah, I don't know what else to talk. I'm gonna see what else I can talk about. I'm just gonna make sure I covered everything. Anything to you? She was all the way in the back, and then I went back to sit down. Then the ghetto girl and another manager, and be at work. 4 a.m. He responded at 10:29 a.m. At 10:32 a.m. I responded saying, "Tight, thanks for looking out." Said, "Yeah, that's cool." A.m. I saw that and I said, "I can take her shift," and he said, "Yeah, that's cool." I asked him, lo and behold, she wanted to swap her shift, and I said, "And if she doesn't want to go home, which I'm glad he told me to stop at 10 a.m. because Section 8, which sounds so ghetto, just applications 2 folders in there. That I might have to get another.
We can really take pictures right here. If you mind,
Oh, yes.
would you mind?
I can step out of the way.
Okay, I appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna interrupt you. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're perfectly fine.
Our family Christmas picture.
Christmas. Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Appreciate you.
Oh, you're fine. Okay, everything. Okay. I believe that's it. I'm going to update you guys if I need to add anything else. But see ya. I need to go get some free food.